It's a beautiful Sunday afternoon. Well, a bit cloudy, but so what? But we're doing a Motor Matters road trip because we've got the Honda Fit Hybrid on test. Was until very recently holding the honor of being the cheapest hybrid available in South Africa, but that's beside the point. We know the Honda Fit, it used to be called the Jazz. We tested the standard version not long ago. But you can see a little bit of a difference at the front. It's got this very low spoiler at the bottom, sort of an overbite as somebody referred to it the other day. But interesting. And note, seems to be you've got to have blue trim around the badge when you've got a hybrid version. Just something that they've got over there. You've got projection headlights, you've got daytime running lights. Remembering and taking into account that obviously this is the top spec version. It's very important to take note of that fact. So you've got all the features. You want very interesting two-tone mag wheels over here, and they're 16 inches. You get 15 inch on the rest of the range. Again, very, very neat. Looks very good. The Fit, of course, we'll check it out a lot more carefully in a few moments as soon as the car unlocks. And let's just have a look, of course, at the space in the back seat. The driver's seat set for myself, as we always do, and you can see tons and tons of space. And you've got leather trim on the seats, of course, in this one with nice contrast stitching, etc. You've got a USB port in the back of the center console over there for rear seat passengers. These are the features that matter. Come round to the back, of course, and remembering this is now standard Honda Fit. But of course, the badge over there saying EHEV, meaning electric hybrid vehicle, and that's the important part. Pop open the boot. Reasonable size, but you do lose some boot space, of course, because of the battery pack that I'm assuming is underneath over here, and you don't get a spare wheel. You get a mobility kit that's hidden behind this little clip over here. You can see where you get all of that, and you get a puncture kit and jack over there. Can't say I'm a fan of the concept of not having spare wheels, but it's all about packaging and space and allowing for batteries and things like that. So I suppose I've just got to accept it as it is. It's got the same 1.5 litre 4-cylinder engine as the other models in the Fit range, but you've got hybrid power added to it through the same CVT gearbox, front wheel drive, etc. It's not a ball of fire. No, don't expect that. But it's a relaxed cruiser. We've come out to, it's called Vogtville out in the country. Amazing, we're only 80 k's out of Joburg and we're in country. That's the difference over here. And it's just beautiful green farmlands, everything you want like that out here where we are. And we cruised out here showing for the drive out here 4.2 litres per 100. Remembering always hybrids are even better in traffic situations than they are on the open road, and yet we've got a figure like that. That to me is what counts. We'll check out a lot more on the road, the whole interior of the car, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Cruising along on the open road, it's surprising actually how quiet this Honda Fit is, although I do notice a bit of a booming, but it's from the body shape more than anything else, I think. But what is amazing is if you look at the nice big screen we've got over here, obviously the typical touch screen. We've done about 40 odd Ks from home now on our little journey. We're showing 4.4 litres per 100 for this journey, and remembering, as you know, hybrids are not at their most economical on an open road cruise. It's not their absolute ideal, but yet we're doing the 4.4. And interestingly, we've done just under 500 K so far on this test, and we're showing 4.4 litres per 100 overall. So that really is impressive. You look around, let's just go back to the screen quickly, and I'll press there and you get the home. You've got all the functions you could possibly want. Android Auto works well. I've tested it. I used it the other day. It all works superbly, and that's what you want. Nice and simple, nice and easy. You've got active cruise control over here. You've got a lane keep assist on your little buttons over here on the steering wheel. So those are all there as well. Important, because remembering this is the top spec model. and that's the important thing, the hybrid being at the top of the range. We've got leather trim on the seats, and you've got the very, very nice, clean effect of the dash, that very flat dashboard in front of me, and those extra quart light windows at the front to give you a nice view, front side over there, for when you're driving and placing the car, etc. But that's obviously standard Honda fit, you know it. This one is all about the hybrid and hybrid living, and I know I'm not using it for the most ideal driving, coming out on the open road on a cruise for a Sunday Motimators road trip. That's not what these are really about, but of course we got to do it anyway, and it's a nice day, so we're out in the countryside and heading out for a nice Sunday lunch. You've got 2 USBs down in front of the driver over there. That's all very much expected and standard. You know what it's about because it is the Honda Fit. We tested recently. You've got all those features. The magic seats behind me, we'll show those to you later in the video, that you know how those work for storage space. But overall, of course, the hybrid is nice and smooth, comfortable, easy. The CVT gearbox, well, if you don't push the car, you don't get too much issue with the CVT, the droning of a CVT. It's only when you really want to push it, the speed up a little bit, you will get a bit of that effect. But again, it's not a big deal. So overall, I mean, it's really a comfortable, smooth, easy car to drive. It's so light to drive, which really does help and make such a big difference to me. Just overall, it's a pleasure, easy on the road, and it feels solid, I must say, and it feels like it's planted on the road. And these are things that you want to know and want to feel and just be aware of while you're driving. So overall, somehow, I think because of the higher spec, it is a big step up from the standard fit, the non-hybrid version, and I think that does make quite a difference to me as well. I am finding this one a lot more pleasant, a lot easier to drive, so I am finding a difference there, shall we say that much. Behind the wheel, let's take a look at the instrumentation, as we always do. And the really pertinent figures to start with are, we've done 613 kilometers on this test already. That's quite a lot, showing, I think, a pretty impressive 4.4 liters per 100. I know Honda quotes 3.7, but let's get real and also remember we have done quite a bit of freeway, and we did our road trip yesterday as well, so take that into account. Good figure, 4.4. We actually showed 4.3 for the road trip yesterday. And what's even more impressive is the fact that there's still 208 kilometers left in this 40-liter tank. That's not bad at all. You, of course, can scroll through. You can show different, the instrumentation scrolls and shows you different information every time. It's all very standard. I think I don't have to show you too much. You know how these work, and it just goes on like that every time. So leave it there for now. Very simple. Of course, you've got, I showed you the cruise control, the active cruise control, and also the lane keep that are there. So those are good features as well. And very neat, of course, on the door panel, you can see all your switches for your mirrors, door locks, etc. All there, all neat and all nice. Interesting, you've got this sort of little cream effect on the dashboard over here around some of the buttons. Just stands out quite nicely, and I think it looks pretty good. Across to the nice big screen over here, you can see I've got it set, of course, on the trip meter over here, just to show you all the important information. And you can also see what some other people have been achieving in the car, for example, on fuel economy. And I don't know who this was that had the vehicle before me, but you can see they were doing different numbers, but just having a look. Of course, there's all the different functions you can get. That's also so important to look at. Come down below there, and there you see your air conditioning system, your climate control system, single zone, but very effective, works well. And below that, I do like the fact that you've got 2 USBs, one for connectivity for, of course, Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, one for charging, and a 12-volt outlet there as well. Just, sorry, popping back up next to the climate control, you do have heated front seats as well, the individual for driver and passenger. The gear shift we've discussed. Honda's CVT, it's effective, it works well. it does scream at you a little bit on the freeway. And there is an eco button over there if you really want. But in a car like this, again, why would you want it? Electronic handbrake and a brake holder if you really need to use it. Cup holders over here and spaces, plenty storage spaces, things like that. Of course, you know the space you get in the back seat of this vehicle. It is massive, massive, massive. Especially those magic seats that allow you to fold the seats out the way to give you the full height of the cabin for load space. And I know a friend who regularly puts a bicycle in here without taking wheels off or anything else. He just puts it behind the front seats. Coming back, of course, to the front over here, you've got this lovely flat dashboard, which is a big feature and factor to many drivers. So it's just something one would look at and think about with this car. And I think it does make a bit of a difference to me. Right, let's talk now. Price. Well, you can get the Fit, the top executive version with the 1.5 litre engine that gives you 89 kilowatts. This one gives you 80 kilowatts, but it gives you a whole big 253 Newton meters of torque. Now that's the crucial thing, because on that pull-off, it's the acceleration for overtaking. It's factors like that where, of course, hybrid power comes into its own and really is such an important factor. So remember that. But now what you are paying is an extra 83,000 Rand, because the price of this one, as we're in it now, is 484 for the hybrid version, allowing for the incredible fuel savings. And as I said, Honda quote 3.7, you are likely to get 6.5 or so. I know I got in the low sixes with the normal Fit recently. So you're going to get that. So you can see you're going to save 30% on fuel. And that seems to be the ballpark for a hybrid version as opposed to the normal petrol-driven version. That seems to be where you're going to come. So you're going to get that incredible saving. You get a 4-year, 60,000 kilometer service plan included as well. You get all those things at that price. And until recently, of course, the Fit Hybrid was the cheapest hybrid on the market in South Africa. It has just been trumped by the Toyota Corolla Cross and Corolla hybrids. But that's not the point over here. You like the Fit, which so many people do. You like the magic seats and the space. And it's a big car in a little package, or a big package in a smaller car. Talk it whichever way around you want to talk it. But it is a factor over here, and it does make a difference, because you do get certain good space in this car. And the reputation of the Honda Fit, or as it used to be called, the Jazz. This is an interesting option. And hot news off the presses. It is a final in the 2022 SA Car of the Year in the new energy category. So well deserved for that. You're looking for a hybrid specifically. You're looking for a compactish hybrid. Well, you don't have too many choices. This has got to be one you look at. For Motor Matters, I'm Eleanor. See you next time.